We all know that feeling. You're new to Hunt. You've been consistently getting dunked on in your few matches until this finally happened. You got your first kill. You stand over your first body and you survey the area. As luck would have it, they don't stand up. Nobody to the rescue. Just you and your body. Seemingly the last hunter in the lobby. And to the victor go the spoils. A Winfield Terminus. Nice. You haven't unlocked that gun yet. It's super exciting. You grab it off his body, you finish off the butcher, and you head to the extraction. Your first real victory in Hunt Showdown. But what's this symbol on your Terminus? A red circle. Huh. You've encountered a contraband weapon for the first time in Hunt Showdown. And it fucking sucks. Hey everybody, I'm Horse, and I'm jumping in for another Hunt Showdown video off the heels of my carpal tunnel surgery and the overwhelming success of my Don't Demonize Crytek video. Thank you to everybody, by the way, who gave me the time of day. I'm eternally grateful to you. I've only got one good hand for this video, but believe me, I've never felt more motivation for making videos in my whole life. So I had to do something right now or I was gonna lose my mind. I feel as though I did a pretty good job defending Crytek. Not that there isn't a lot more to discuss with that whole situation, and I do plan on doing that, by the way. But now it's my turn to help represent us players a lot better than I was before. And to any of you who felt offended by my last video, or to anybody that feel like I was representing just a corporation and not you, I apologize, which is why I'm here to talk today about the contraband system and how it fucking sucks in Hunt Showdown. It works like this. Any gun that you do not directly purchase in some way, whether it is buying a hunter or whether it is buying it from your armory, is considered a contraband weapon. Meaning you can extract with this weapon, but don't you dare remove it from your inventory, or it will be destroyed, gone to the winds. Now, it's also important to note that you can store 2 contraband items for each particular weapon in your arsenal. And this is well and all, but my problem lies in restricting any of this at all. Restricting the resale of these items, I do agree with that. It is the only way to conserve the intended gameplay loop of Hunt Showdown and not encourage just strict PvP and extracting without even touching the bounty token. I don't think we should go with the resale of these contraband items, but restricting the storage of them feels so needless. But, and this may be because I'm a patriotic American, but give me my damn guns. It feels needless and annoying to deal with this system. And let's be honest, the economic systems within the game are already bloated enough as is. Inflation is, ironically enough, a real issue in the digital economy of Hunt Showdown. And I frankly don't think that letting me store a 3rd Winfield Centennial Sniper is going to cripple the economy any further, alright? Now why the hell was this system ever introduced in the first place? I get encouraging players to head for the bounty tokens and continue the regular gameplay loop, but god damn, this was needlessly excessive and punishing for players. There's a lot of players that want to be able to sell the weapons they get off of enemy hunters, by the way. I wouldn't go that far at all. That would only encourage killing other hunters, taking their loot, and then leaving. Not even going for the bounty tokens at all. But beyond that idea, why am I being needlessly punished for outplaying somebody with a more expensive gun than me and not being able to take it out of my inventory after I loot them? Why can't I simply take the gun out of my inventory, place it in my armory, and save it for later? I don't want to use this fucking Terminus every goddamn game until I die. This is so needlessly punishing for every Hunt Showdown player at any level of play. Now, while I consider Hunt Showdown's contraband system to be a needlessly punishing system that is felt by every Hunt Showdown player at some point in their Hunt Showdown career, I haven't found a lot of people talking about it. Which was part of my inspiration for making this video. I want to bring more attention to this. I looked back 2 whole years in the Hunt Showdown community page on Steam, and I can't seem to find a single fucking person talking about this issue. Not even the devs themselves either. Granted, the Control F command works like ass on the Steam community page, but even still, I did a lot of digging, okay? So what's going on here? I even took a look at the negative reviews, and oh boy, there's a lot of people talking about the hashtag return blood bond economy, and I can agree with their sentiment, right? I'm a player too. I'm also being punished by these changes. But that's not the point of this video. I've already got a video talking about that to some degree if you want to check that out, but even still, I can't find Contraband in any of these reviews. Not even in the negative reviews listed by most helpful either. I think that although the other issues such as MMR brackets and server stability, the blood bond economy, all of these things still need to be discussed as people are, and I'm happy that they are. We can only improve the game by talking about it, right? But truthfully, I think that we need to throw the Contraband system into the mix, as it has been a needlessly punishing system for players since its inception. It is important as a community that we continue to talk about it so that we can come to the best possible solutions and conclusions, right? Now, I've talked about why the system fucking sucks, and I've talked about other stuff going on in the Hunt Showdown community right now, but what can be our fix to alleviate this issue of the overwhelming punishment that the Contraband system brings to Hunt Showdown for players at all skill levels? Well, I've thought of a couple solutions to make the Contraband system less annoying to deal with for new players and veteran players alike. Now, they do come with some pros and cons that we will discuss in detail. So, my first solution is the simplest of the two. Simply remove the limits on the amount of contraband items you could store in your arsenal. This way, I don't need to worry about grabbing an expensive gun off of somebody I outplay. I could take my 5th Nitro Express rifle and save it for another week where I'm particularly feeling masochistic and I want to run 5 games with the Nitro Express and die because I can't hit a shot. Now, the obvious pros and cons of this solution are 1. Freedom for players, right? Giving players full control of their arsenal and how they store their weapons just feels good and comfortable. It doesn't feel good to outplay somebody, to go and check their body and feel unrewarded because they have a gun that you already have stored in your arsenal and you can't keep another. I don't want to kill a hunter and go, ugh, I already have a couple Veterlies from a few months ago. I can't take this. Pro number 2 is that it allows the system and the balancing of this Contraband system to focus on its true purpose, which is promoting completing your hunt, killing your target, collecting the bounty token, and extracting. That is the primary focus of the game. It is all balanced around that. The game isn't strictly PvP. That's an itch that Quick Play is there to scratch. And for the cons, we've got 1. Promoting more PvP in Hunt Showdown. While I can see why somebody would want to make this argument, right? Oh, I could store infinite guns. I'm just gonna kill people and take their guns and never have to pay for anything again. But I urge you to truly think about the practicality of it. How many times in Hunt Showdown have you avoided fighting with somebody completely? Or they, you? I haven't, in my experience of almost 100 hours in Hunt Showdown, ever had a moment where everybody was avoiding each other and fighting. The very moment 2 squads of hunters notice that each other are there, bam, the fight's on. They're gonna try and kill each other or survive the other attacking them. PvP is already happening regularly. The bounty token, while the primary objective, feels like it takes a backseat the moment hunters are around because you've got to survive to even get to the bounty token in the first place. And I'm not letting them kill me, I'm killing them. You know what I mean? So even if somebody was simply killing hunters to find more guns to collect and keep indefinitely, Good for them. Like, whatever. If that's how you want to enjoy the game, so be it. That sounds boring to me. It sounds boring to me for me to load into multiple matches, kill a hunter, take their weapon, and then leave. So if, what, 0.01% of the entire hunt population is going to be somebody abusing that system, who cares? It benefits everybody else. Unless somebody's in that upper echelon of hunters, right? That 0.05% that doesn't die very regularly. Everybody else is eventually going to have to buy a gun at some fucking point, so it doesn't completely cripple the economy. And con number 2 is economic bloat, right? I can make a fair case that allowing me to endlessly stack Scotfield Model 3s would harm the hunt dollar economy, but to that point I still say this would be a system only abused by the upper 0.05% of the hunt player base, the upper echelon. 99.5% of players probably wouldn't be skilled enough to win enough games while killing enough hunters to amass a warlord level arsenal of backup weapons and never pay for a gun again. Everybody but that higher level would be unable to abuse this system and would have to make a purchase eventually with their hunt dollars. Overall, I think lifting the storage restrictions is a simple fix that will give Hunt Showdown players more bang for their buck and more freedom that they honestly probably feel has been slowly but surely stripped away from them over the last 5 years due to changes in balancing within the game. But how do you feel about my first solution to this problem? Pause the video, go to the comments, type up something, let me know. Either way, we're going to go on to my second solution, and this solution, honestly, I'm very proud of. I did a lot of crunching and thinking on this one, and I think it's a very unique and cool solution that would add a lot more depth to Hunt Showdown for anybody at any level. And the second solution is going to be a small bounty for leaving an extraction with another hunter's loot. Now, I'm going to go in extreme detail here to really explain what I mean by this and the extra parameters within it. Let's say if you loot a hunter with a more expensive gun than yours, and you have to extract with a bounty token, completing the game's primary gameplay loop. But if you do both of these things, the AHA will actually pay you the difference for saving them money on weaponry, and in exchange for optionally forfeiting your contraband weapons. Again, optionally, you can keep it if you want, meaning that it'll be removed from your inventory if you opt to go for this. They will front you the difference of what you spent on your original weapon going into the game. And I'll make this make even more sense with an example. So to say, if you went into the lobby with only a Caldwell conversion for 26 hunt dollars, a very cheap weapon, and by the end of the lobby you left with a Caldwell conversion uppercut and a Winfield Talon that you looted off of enemy hunters, the AHA would pay you the difference of 349 hunt dollars directly to your account and take the confiscated weapons from your inventory. Now, the system has obvious pros and cons, right? Good stuff, bad stuff, let's go over it. Pro number 1 is that it would give the contraband system more purpose. The contraband system, as it is, feels very pointless, right? This change, while very involved and difficult to implement at first, would give the entire contraband system a lot more depth. And speaking of depth, pro number 2 is that it would add a lot more depth to Hunt Showdown as a whole. Like, let's say you've already grabbed a bounty token, but you know there's hunters coming. Do you stand your ground and fight them for the chance of looting them and getting more expensive weaponry to get a better payout? Or do you take your W and get out without the chance of losing the bounty token you got in the first place? And pro number 3, and this is one that I really love. I love that it would do this. It would encourage veteran players to return to cheaper, less effective weaponry. More of the guns that the Hunt devs spent literally weeks creating that almost never get used because they're comparably weaker and cheaper, and they have the money to buy the better guns. Think about how many times you felt like somebody just had a better gun than you, right? Think about the amount of times that you felt somebody just had a better gun than you and it made them win the fight. You had, say, a conversion and they had an uppercut. You had a Springfield and they had an Avdo, you know? If hunters were encouraged with better payouts to take cheaper weaponry because of this new system, it would allow lesser skilled players to finally have an actual advantage more often, because the players with more skill than them might be more coerced to take worse weaponry available due to wanting higher profits. It's a win-win-win for everybody involved. Plus, you'll get to see a greater variety of guns in your games, which will be more fun for you to fight. And now we move on to the obvious cons. Number one is more inflation. The game already has a shit ton of currency, and even more so now that we have wildcard weekends where our bounties are increased triple-fold. So, this would only add more hunt dollars onto that inflation. And number two, you could really argue that it would encourage more PvP. But that's why I added the addendum that you must extract with a bounty token as well. And again, like I said before, PvP is already happening in most of your Hunt Showdown games. The moment your group hears the other group's footsteps, the hunt is on, so to say. You guys have to survive them, they have to survive you, and nobody's going to be patient and wait for the other to come kill them. You're not going to be able to really avoid each other unless randomly both teams decide this isn't a fight they want to take, which almost never happens in my experience of 100 hours. And number three, I can't really think of any other cons. I genuinely think this is a solid, fun, and unique idea that would add not only depth for the Contraband system, but so much more depth to all of Hunt Showdown, and I really hope you feel the same. But please, stop what you're doing, go to the comments, and let me know how you feel about the first or second solution, especially the second. Obviously, it needs a lot of ironing out, right? Like, say your gun is almost the exact same cost as theirs, but you take theirs and leave. If they only paid the difference, you'd only make 20 hunt dollars and lose out on what you spent originally. So obviously the system's gonna have to pay you your own original cost for the gun too. But that's even more inflation. See, like, there's a lot of holes I could poke in my own idea, but I still think it's a really cool idea, and I would love to have your opinions on it so that we can improve it together as a squad, okay? So please let me know how you feel. I want to know your opinion. So everybody, we've discussed how the Contraband system feels needless and restricts the freedoms of players in Hunt Showdown. We've discussed other problems in the community. We've discussed my two solutions for the problem, the second of which I'm particularly proud of. And I've only got one last question for you, my precious viewer. How do you feel? Let me know in the comments below. I absolutely loved all the dozens of opinions I've received over my last video, even the ones that were negative. I'd love to receive your opinions over this one too. And I'm so proud of this video that I'm willing to confess to you all that this is a re-upload. I pulled the original upload almost immediately because I received a comment from a very honest viewer almost immediately telling me why I was wrong, and they were right. And I wasn't proud of that final product. So I pulled the video and I spent 2 more days improving it, and that is actually how I came to this second option for the solution. And I'm so much more proud of this video because I did that. This project took so much more work, but I'm so much more proud of it. And that's why I need your opinions. It's the only way we can improve not only my videos, but the game. But remember to be constructive. I've had a couple comments that were literal direct attacks. And I'm glad it's on me and not somebody else taking that punishment, but it still doesn't feel good. Everybody, it has been a pleasure as always. I am out of breath and my wrist hurts. I'm so very happy that you took the time out of your one beautiful life to tune into my video for even just a little bit. Subscribe for more and stay tuned for more exciting things to come. Stay blessed. Oh my fucking god.
The hunt. I'm burning?
It's outside!
He wants you.
Spider, what did I do?
You got a fat ass.